What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip and welcome back to another video. I'm outside right now and sorry if it's a bit windy, and as you can see from the background, it's that time of year again, especially here in Japan. Yes, it's Sakura season, and well, this isn't really my first time like posting videos with Sakura uh, all around me, but I thought, hey, while they're still blooming, why not make another video? Because I don't know, I just love the idea. So, anyways, so of course, as you can see right here, like this, by the way, is like a whole row full of sakura trees. So, sakura trees, or the sakura flowers, or if you want to really say it in English, like cherry blossoms, so they bloom typically in late March, up to like the second week of April. So I think we're still in time to see most of them bloom. But again, it depends on it depends on the area. Let's say, for example, you're living in Hokkaido. I think they bloom much later, so you would see them around in May. But if you're like down south, maybe around Okinawa, for example, I think they also bloom there, so they bloom much earlier. But where I live, so I'm here in Aichi Prefecture, so which is right smack dab in the middle of Japan. So yeah, we're in the perfect time frame for uh, sakura to bloom. So I found the perfect spot to film this video. So like you can see, like there's no one around, but like I've seen some people like a few steps ahead, so they even had like a table. So it is a perfect time to go for a picnic, especially again like under sakura trees. So Japanese people do what they call a hanami, or like cherry blossom viewing. Like you would sit right over there if you can, but I don't think it's the best spot. But there are dedicated places, especially if you go to some parks. So like you would see groups of people like with their picnic mats down. Some also you know have a bit of drinking. But yeah, so as you can see here, so this is a closer image. Yeah, they're it depends on the variety of trees, but they're not as pink as you might imagine them to be. Most of the trees that I've seen in this area have more of white flowers. Maybe the closer you get to the middle, you would see a like slight pink coloration. And considering the timing of when I came, so for example, like you see here, so the leaves are starting to bloom. So once leaves are starting to bloom, it's basically near the end of like the blooming season. But again, I decided to film this video while we still can. So if you are someone who likes cherry blossoms, whether you've seen them in anime or in dramas, like yeah, they're a good source of drama because like especially in schools, like April has like double meanings. So if you think of sakura in late March in a school setting, so we think about graduations, but considering that it's already April, so it's the start of a new school year. So again, a good example would be in high school settings, whether anime or drama. So it's either graduation season or like the start of the new school year. So those are typically the times you would see cherry blossoms in those kinds of media. So as you can see, as much as possible, I try not to touch anything because it's a big no-no, okay? And boy, is it embarrassing to say myself. Like I've seen video like a couple of years back of a Filipino actor. When he came to Japan, like he was shaking the trees. Again, it's a big no-no. So especially if you do that in a public area like a park, you could get arrested or fined. So maybe the worst case scenario, you will never step in Japan ever again. So what I'm doing here is trying to appreciate the flowers from a distance. So even though like it's really really close to me, it's tempting to touch the flowers, but again, I'm not gonna do that. So if you are a tourist who wants to see cherry blossoms, and probably, you know, there are some who are watching this video who may have been to Japan once or twice before, but again, especially for first timers, please take my advice, do not touch the flowers. Like appreciate the beauty, their beauty from a distance. And like the symbol of Sakura, again, in especially as portrayed in media, so they're the symbol of the fleetingness of life, considering that they only bloom for a very short period. So especially if there's a lot of wind and maybe some rain, like they would fall faster. So right now it's moderately breezy, so you can see the flowers and the branches sway. Look at me. So the wind is blowing, but not strong enough for like a full like Sakura storm. That actually looks really really awesome. So considering the varieties of Sakura, and yeah, this what you see right here. So this is called the Somei Yoshino. Somei Yoshino is the most common type of Sakura. So this is the type of Sakura that people would imagine. Okay, so this is again Somei Yoshino, the most common type of Sakura in Japan. And there is also another variety called the Shidare Sakura, or the Weeping Sakura, which has like thinner branches that droop down. So that's why they're called weeping, because like, you know, I guess the drooping branches like give a hint of sadness to them. Kind of makes sense. But again, more often than not, the Somei Yoshino is what you think of when you think of Sakura. And while, like I've said, the ones that I've seen here, the ones that I'm showing along this road, they have primarily white flowers. There may be some varieties that have a slightly more pinkish hue to them, but it may depend on the area. But yeah, that's what they are. So as for the scent, not much. So I've tried smelling Sakura flowers up close before, and they have almost no smell. Maybe like a very faint fragrance, but you know, it's not really the most fragrant flower like I would imagine. However, like personally, I like plum blossoms better. Plum blossoms, by the way, they bloom around February, and once you pass through like even at least a single plum blossom tree, my god, the fragrance is just simply amazing. Like I just want to stand in front of that tree all day and sniff it for all it has. Again, in terms of like scent, plum blossom, and they're also more vibrant, so it is a bit more on the pink side if we're talking about pink, but I've seen plum blossoms with yellow flowers. So again, those are quite common, but of course, this is Japan, so we're gonna talk about Sakura. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to break the monotony of like typical content we make on this channel. Like sometimes, I mean, like who doesn't want to appreciate Japanese life and culture every once in a while? especially for someone like me who has the privilege of being able to live in Japan for as long as I have. 11 years, by the way, guys. I've been here 11 years, and these trees still amaze me. Again, they're not exactly my favorite, but considering how much of an impact cherry blossoms have had, especially in like media that involves Japan. So yeah, they have become part of, you can say, my personal life, like uh, living here again, and how Japanese media has kind of influenced me in a way. So again, I have an appreciation for cherry blossoms in general. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Yeah, it's still kind of breezy, but anyways, uh, sorry about my hair. Yeah, it is windy. It is windy. It really messes me up. But anyways, as always, thanks for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and hopefully we can do something more with these Japan-related videos. Let me know if you want to see more of Japan if we have an opportunity, because really I want to show you guys more of Japan and not just talk about, otaku stuff like tokusatsu, games, anime, what have you. But again, considering that we are in Japan right now, like I want to make more videos like this. So let me know what you guys want to see, what you want me to talk about in relation to like living in Japan, like Japanese culture. So again, like stuff like that. I really want to make that kind of content as well every once in a while. So yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.